Second countdown. What is up, Loudmouth Sports Talk, Loudmouth Sports Group? It is your host, the true champ of Loudmouth off the top rope, Sean. For some unknown reason, Loudmouth Luch is not here. I've been trying to reach him all day. I'm not too sure what is going on. It is the Halloween edition of Loudmouth off the top rope. Oh, here we go. And from Death Valley, weighing in at 309 pounds, he is accompanied by Paul Bear, the Undertaker. My Undertaker! My Undertaker! My Undertaker! Well, there you have it, folks. Luciano and his wife, Elisa, as Paul Bear and The Undertaker. A little weird to see Luch as Paul Bear, but I can understand because Luciano is only like 5 foot and his wife is taller than him, so I understand that.
Exactly why.
Like it right here.
Exactly why we had to do it the way we did it.
I don't think it would have been any other way, man. Hopefully some people got to see this. And they'll get to see it afterwards. I know one person's watching, so who's ever watching, you're probably cracking up because he came out as Paul Bear.
My favorite part of this costume is that I had Loach do a neck tattoo on me of his name because the Undertaker had his wife's name. That's my favorite part of the costume.
I like it. I like it.
Oh man.
And your aunt is loving it too.
Woo! Great. Yes.
We couldn't go to our costume party last night. So we had to make something special for Loudmouth. So we figured, why not do it for Loudmouth? We're a wrestling show.
Absolutely.
We're going to go as wrestlers. Why not do it?
I would have dressed up myself. I just got too much family stuff going on to be sitting in a suit. So.
Go big or go home. We did it.
You went big, and you went big, and I like it, man. I'm loving it. But Luch, so much to discuss.
All right.
And yes, Claudio, most beautiful Undertaker. Yes.
Yeah, Airbus and most beautiful
Thank
Undertaker.
you.
Yes, the most beautiful. I think that'll be the first time ever in history we'll ever say that Undertaker looks beautiful.
Maybe. Possibly. But
first and foremost, folks, me and Luch both talked about this. This needs to be addressed here at Loudmouth Sports Group, Loudmouth Sports Talk. It is crucial that we keep equality across the board. We have women. We have women here in this group, and what we have gotten a lot sick and tired of is the consistent disrespect to female wrestling, to female wrestlers. Every time the post is up, it's constantly about their tits or their ass. Listen, folks, these women have come a long way in WWE than from tits and ass. Okay? It is not that anymore. It is not a divas division anymore. It's a women's revolution. That started way back when Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, Sasha Banks, Bayley all hit the scene and started making an impact in this business. So, and yes, they are athletes, folks. So please, folks, this is a final warning. If you don't like what we post about female wrestlers, please don't comment. Please just keep scrolling by.
Or just females in general. Anytime anything is brought into the group that has to deal with females, you guys just either sexualize them or they're not worth what they think they are because they're a woman or whatever. But you got, like, seriously, a lot of you people need to have a whole reality check. Y'all all came from women. How dare y'all disrespect a woman like that? You don't know what that woman's going through, what she's been through. Paige has done so much, and I'm saying Paige specifically because it was on a Paige post. You guys want to talk about how she had work done, but you guys would be the first one to be jumping out of your seats when Paige returns. So,
or the first ones that try to find her. You want to do other things, but you're quick to try to find her out on a porn site or something in that regards. Which, listen,
yes.
She made her mistakes, but you know what? That's her choice of what she did, and
yes, exactly.
And if you don't like it or you disapprove of it, just keep it to yourself. People, keep it to yourself. I did send out an invite to a certain individual to see if they'll respond today. I called them out pretty much a lot last week and this week. I've left them alone a little bit. We'll see what happens in regard to that. If he doesn't show, that just shows me where he truly stands.
All right, Sean.
Luch.
You watch Hell in a Cell.
Yes.
Well, we're not going to take everyone's time about the pay-per-view, but there's a few ones we have to talk about. First one being, why was Roman and Jay the opening match? My question, that's the first one. Why? What up, Port?
I don't know why it was the opening match. I mean, it was the most anticipated match. I mean, I understand that Raw usually ends up, ending the show on pay-per-views, since they are the bigger show. Mm-hmm. Both of those Hells in a Cell match, both of those title matches could have went back to back to each other. And maybe it's due to a time constraint issue in that regards. Both of those matches went pretty long. I mean, I think they both went 20, 25 minutes, maybe 30 minutes, 35 minutes. The matches in between that didn't go as long. So, it's the point of figuring out where do we want to, who has the better storyline. Both storylines were awesome. And I don't think you disrespected one storyline for the other, not putting it in the main event. Both of those were main event matches. And like I said, I think it was more of a time constraint, trying to fit it all in.
I understand and I feel that because, like you said, both champion matches, or all three champion matches, kind of went a little long. The female one was a little longer than I expected it to be. The matches in between, they weren't terrible.
No, they just were a lot shorter, maybe like 10 minutes max. 10 minutes, 12 minutes.
Few minutes, which, I mean, and they pulled a match which could have been Seth Rollins, Rey Mysterio, or no, Seth Rollins, Dominic, and Murphy.
Mm-hmm.
Why they pulled that from the pay-per-view, I would have rather seen what happened last night happen on the pay-per-view. I would have rather seen it happen then. And if you guys didn't know what happened, Aaliyah pretty much stopped Ray from hurting Murphy and said, "I love him," and then kissed him. That's what happened. So I would have rather seen that come to light at a pay-per-view other than just a normal Friday night SmackDown. Now, I know they are trying to bring viewers in because viewership does keep declining.
Yes,
but
viewership is keeping declining.
But here's the thing that I see is viewership on a weekly episode declines. But pay-per-view stay the same. Reason being is I think that not only has social media maybe messed up, because I can go on to YouTube and watch a 30-minute highlight of Raw and know just as much as watching the whole 3 hours.
Yes.
That's where I think where the fans are stop watching is because you can get that 30, 45-minute recap and it feels like you just watched the whole Raw.
Honestly, I watch maybe the first hour and a half of Raw. After that, I will watch YouTube and catch up on anything else that I missed out on Raw. SmackDown's a little bit different because it's 2 hours. I might miss the last half hour of it. Maybe. At this SmackDown, I didn't miss anything because, my God, it was a great SmackDown.
Phenomenal.
From start to finish.
Yeah. I mean, you started it with Roman telling him, like, hey.
You end it with Jay turning heel, which I love. I mean, why do it with Brian? I don't know. Maybe that could be something really cool to see. Jay and Daniel Bryan going at it. I wouldn't mind seeing it.
But here's the thing, though. If they're going to build a Samoan dynasty, wouldn't they still keep the Usos as tag? So then they can have Roman as champ, them as tag champ. And
but also realize that Jimmy is still out on injury.
But from what I'm hearing, it's not going to. Obviously, they're stretching it.
They're stretching it. So with Jimmy out on injury still, you can't just have Jay kind of sitting back doing nothing. Jay's got to be the enforcer. Jay's got to be the guy to take care of Roman's problems. Being a head chief, you're not always going to listen. You know damn well if you have a person who is in charge, who's head chief, they're not going to handle, as you call yourself loudmouth Luch, and you have people, like you said, that do your light work. So Roman has Jay to do his light work. Jimmy, when Jimmy comes back, that's where the dynasty will start. But how can you move? If you want to get a female involved, you're going to have to get, you go with Nia Jax or Tamina. I say go with Tamina because Nia Jax is in a great position right now with Shayna Baszler with the tag titles.
You think so?
I think so. They're a very dominant tag team. So I don't want to move that. I don't want to move that because then if you move that, then Shayna Baszler is now lost in a shuffle game.
But WWE's breaking up tag teams left and right.
They are. But
it's gonna happen eventually.
I mean, unless you hold out and don't have Tamina join on a dynasty with Roman and Jimmy and Jay. Leave Nia Jax to take the side of The Rock. I mean, The Rock's gonna need some type of backup.
I think when you get The Rock's backup, that's when you're gonna get Rikishi's. That's when older Samoans that don't agree with what the Wild Samoans did.
Right.
But I think as the younger Samoans, I feel like they need to make all of them bow to Roman. So it makes Roman look like he is the chief, which would make it more meaningful if The Rock would come out on top at the end. Which I think.
Why would you put Rock on top?
I don't think Roman's going to come out on top.
You bury the whole. Then you wasted how many months?
I just don't see Vince saying, Rock, we're going to build this thing around you and Roman, and him not being unless it's like a passing of the torch.
It's a passing of the torch. It's a passing of. Listen, we know The Rock is not
that.
The Rock is not
Cena.
That's a different passing of the torch.
So he's passing the legacy of the
legacy of the Samoans. So when The Rock passed the torch to Cena, it was more of the face of the WWE, right? So you have the face of the WWE. You've passed that torch. Listen, and Roman's already beaten Cena. So there's no need to pass the torch for the WWE. We already know that we are putting the focus around Roman Reigns, the face of Roman Reigns. What you need to do is now pass the legacy of the Samoans of this legacy of Samoans to Roman Reigns. Luch looks like Chuck Taylor from Chappelle's Show.
So Matt, you could watch, but you can't come on. Matt, you come on. You better come on the show.
I already sent the show, Matt. I told you. I sent him the invite. He has an invite. He has all more welcome to accept the invite. I'm the one that called you out, and you're picking on Luch. Wow. Shows me
you don't want any of this.
Bring it, Steel City Hill. Please.
Matt, flame his ass. Get him. But I have something I want to talk about, Sean.
Sure.
Give me 5 minutes, send the link.
I already sent the link. Right. I sent the link.
He said he sent it, so
I'll resend it. Please, I'll resend it
whenever.
Keep talking. I'm resending it right now.
That 1 minute per. There's that 1 minute per viewer you guys average. He's sending it again.
I sent it again, Matt. 5 minutes. Steel
All right.
City.
Well, then we have 5 minutes. So, Matt, what do you think, since you're watching and everyone else is watching, and I get hung for this in the group all the time. Mid-card Cody Rhodes, okay? Now let me talk. Mid-card Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes is a mid-carder. There's nothing wrong with being a mid-carder. He is a top mid-carder. But Cody Rhodes is not World Heavyweight Championship material. Not. He's a good. For a man to say, I don't believe in mid-card titles, that's because you are a mid-card man holding a mid-card title on a mid-card show.
Then you're saying that him winning the NWA Heavyweight Championship was nothing.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you. Listen. He won that because of who his daddy was. Listen, he is talented, but he is no way, shape, or form a top star. I'm sorry. If he was, he would not. He's only smoking mirrors. See? Listen, he's not. And if he was, he would still not be taken as many jabs as he does to Vince, because that's the thing about Cody Rhodes. Is
But
it?
you know how many jabs he had to hear when they took it at his family when he was there?
It's gonna kill him inside, Sean, until the day he dies. That he will not be the man in that company in WWE. He has nightmares at night over that shit. He has nightmares. Cody Rhodes is mid-card man for life. He's a good wrestler, but he's too big-headed. He's Jeff Jarrett.
He's a great wrestler. Ooh, that's a slap calling him a Jeff Jarrett. He's better than Jeff. He's better than Jeff Jarrett.
In the ring, yes, but when you book yourself like you do, you are Jeff Jarrett. He took over a company, and just because he can't win the World Heavyweight Championship anymore, don't give me that bullshit. He still doesn't put anyone over. He doesn't put someone over to go shoot a generic America's Got Talent.
He didn't put no one over.
And the minute he won the title.
He didn't put no one over. MJF. He didn't put MJF over.
My man don't need to get put over by Cody.
He put him over though. He put over Eddie King. He put over Eddie Kingston, even though he won.
Sean, you just said he won the match.
He won the match. Not all the time. And why can't you understand that? Even when not winning a match, you could still get put over.
Okay.
He put over Eddie Kingston.
What about Hulk Hogan? Hulk Hogan, John Cena, Triple H.
That's a whole different type. They're a whole different type of breed.
How?
Okay.
They bury people. They all bury people.
Cena, I'll give you credit. I'll give you this. Did Cena bury people along his way when he was riding high? Yes.
The man.
Towards the end, did he bury people? No. If you tell me he buried AJ Styles, I'm going to smack you.
They had matches where he got buried.
But he didn't get buried, though.
You can't bury AJ Styles. That's why.
You could have buried him in WWE. It wasn't too hard to do it. You could have buried him.
That's a hard task.
You could have buried him. You'd have had him keep on losing and looking like a joke. You could have done it.
I mean, possibly, but it's hard to make him look. He's phenomenal, but you and
I'll give you credit on this. Triple H has buried people along his way. Yes, look at the Click. They buried talent among because they didn't care. That was a whole different time.
So, but Cody Rhodes said that there is no such thing as a mid-card title.
Then here's the only thing where
why would someone say that? Because they're mid-card.
Here's the problem I have with Cody Rhodes. Is he a mid-card guy? Yes. Could he get to the top where the top of his potential?
Of course, yeah, the company.
It's part of it, but I mean, he could get. Here's the thing: is WWE never let him be Cody Rhodes. They never did, and you know that for a fact. I mean,
in a way,
they never gave him an actual good booking character. I mean, the best you saw was when they were going off against the Shield. And that was probably the best at the time you've seen it. But anything up until that point, you made him. I mean, smoke and mirrors, which was stupid. Then you had the bag.
That wasn't the worst gimmick they gave him.
Then it was the bag over his head.
Oh God!
God!
Oh God! No!
All right.
Oh my God!
Oh my God!
Fiend, what's up? Let me in. Oh my God! Oh my God! Fiend, what's up?
Hold on. I'm gonna let you in. My mic's working, but my sound's not.
We hear you pretty well.
We hear you. We hear you.
Give me a second. I gotta figure this out. Audio speaker. Okay, hold up. I see it. All right.
The wig he has
There
on.
we go. What's up?
The Fiend.
What's up, Fiend?
I'm here.
So I called you out, Matt, Mike, but apparently it's I get the Fiend.
You get the Fiend right now. You don't get Matt. You get the Fiend.
Oh God.
So your thoughts, Fiend?
What are you, Sean? What are you dressed up as? Anorexic Charles Barkley?
Oh shit!
Oh God!
Luch is over here fucking relapsing. It looks like. You look like you watched The Dirt for 7 days straight. All of your viewers are fucking from Carrick, I have a feeling. Just sitting there waiting for fucking Newport promo cigarette coupons and fucking Turner's iced tea.
Oh God.
No, but you guys are the champs, not me. I get it. It's fine.
Dude, I want to see you versus Sean in a promo war.
Come on.
Listen, because you're a comedian, I don't know if you could write a promo, bro. You can write jokes.
I was a creative director for Blackcraft Wrestling.
Well, then next week, whoop his ass in a promo war.
I don't have to. I'm the goat right here, bro. So we should talk about wrestling, right? Is that what this podcast is about?
Yeah, let's talk wrestling.
Let's talk wrestling. So your thoughts on Cody Rhodes? Here, my thing is, he doesn't suck.
Yes, he does.
Thank you.
He's
Made
terrible.
hard for life.
He's so fucking boring. Here's the thing. He cuts these promos where he just talks about his family and how much passion he has in this company. But the truth is this. It's the same shit every week with him. I love this company. Yeah, because they're the only ones giving you a fucking shot. Real quick. Hold on a second. Luch, if I keep showing these red lights, you probably think you're in the back of a fucking ambulance. Let me turn these off real quick.
Oh, shit. That was good.
That was a good one.
What do they call that fucking thing they give everyone, all the addicts? What is it? Narcan. Yeah. This fucking episode is sponsored by Narcan. This is fantastic. So here's my thing with Cody Rhodes. Is like, yeah, like he cuts his promos. He uses his dad's name a lot. That's really cool. I have friends in AEW, and I like what AEW is. It's like, It is what it is. And like, I think the biggest problem is that wrestling fans always have to compare shit. You know what I mean? Like AEW versus WWE versus NXT. Just watch it. Like, just watch what you like. Like MJF is the best thing in wrestling right now. And I don't think it's close. And when you were saying like, oh well, he put him over. Well, he didn't have a fucking choice at this point. I mean, he's white hot. He's the only guy that that I could look at and be like, oh, he would have a world championship in WWE. Where every other guy in AEW I look at and go, no. Because if they had potential, they already lost it. They already had their chance, you know. And I think WWE did drop the ball on Cody for sure. Like, I think like they didn't give him like what he wanted to do. But you know what? Like, sometimes you just have to take a shitty gimmick and make something of it. And the perfect example was Dolph Ziggler. He has the worst gimmick of all time. The guy bleached his hair and shook fucking hands for 2 years straight. He was supposed to be a jobber. Now when you're fighting Dolph Ziggler, what that means is, oh, I'm in the title picture. Like, this is the guy to put me over to the title picture. Because that's what Dolph is. And people always are like, well, Dolph sucks. He needs to retire. He loves his fucking job right now. He's able to do stand-up. He's able to do everything he's wanted to do right now. People don't understand, like, mid-carder is not a thing. Like, it's a term used by marks. Because I could say Razor Ramon is one of the best wrestlers of all time, most popular wrestlers of all time. Technically, he's a fucking mid-carder. He's never won a world championship in WCW. He never won one in WWE. So, like, that term is and now when you have 75 guys on each roster, like, not everybody can be champion. And that's the thing, is these wrestling fans get so mad. Like, Finn Balor gets hurt, come back. Listen, his time, it just happened. That's why when you guys were posting about CM Punk, like, to me, he's the biggest fucking pussy in wrestling history. He had the title for a year and a half. He had everything that you need. I didn't get the wrestle and headline WrestleMania. Who gives a fuck? You fought The Undertaker. But what?
But championships are held at the main event. And Vince tries to sell all his people on there's 3 main events, or there's this, or there's one main event, and it's the closing of the show.
You think that?
Yes.
So you think Goldberg and Roman Reigns was the main event that WrestleMania?
It shouldn't have been, but it was.
It wasn't, because Undertaker wasn't it?
No,
Undertaker and Roman Reigns. When was that?
Undertaker versus Reigns was
3 years ago in Orlando. Did that close?
No,
that was Saudi, I thought. Or
no, it didn't close.
Goldberg.
So if that didn't close, you're telling me when he fake retired, that wasn't the main event? Which match would have rather been in? That match to send Undertaker home, or the match for 3 minutes while Goldberg does 2 fucking moves and gets beat? What's the main event?
Yeah, I mean, you got a point there.
It doesn't matter where you're at in the card. And like Shawn Michaels and Dolph Ziggler always felt the same way about that. You could put me first, you could put me second, third, fourth, fifth. The whole story is on your way home. It's who you think about, right? And like, it's stealing the show. Who gives a fuck where you're at? If you're so good of a wrestler, if you're so great, like Shane McMahon and fucking AJ Styles kicked off that WrestleMania I went to.
Yeah.
And I thought it was going to be a terrible match. It was fucking awesome. AJ Styles is that good. The guy who headlined the next year was the opening match. Like, so it doesn't matter. And like, I think wrestling fans, he's very Bret Hart-like, where like they're marks of their own shit. Like, dude, spoiler alert, it's not fucking real. It's not real. You're an actor. You're going to work. That's it. You're still getting paid. You're still a millionaire. You still fuck Sonny. Like, you win.
I agree with that, where I think wrestlers nowadays have separated their life from wrestling.
Yeah.
A lot of the older people haven't. And I think Punk's still in that old mentality of, I always have to be CM Punk. I can never be Phillip Brooks.
Well, here's my thing. CM Punk, everybody loves CM Punk. You seem like a big CM Punk fan.
Yeah, I like him.
Are you? So here's my thing. When has he ever stolen the show in the ring?
In the ring.
Yeah.
In the ring? I'll tell you this: the only time
when
I
he
ever
sat Indian style and fucking cut a pipe bomb that was scripted.
The only time I ever seen him actually steal a show was at IWC Wrestling when he first faced Christopher Daniels. That was the only time. And he was in Indies. That was the time I seen him steal a show.
Yeah, as much as I love CM Punk, the last time I saw him steal a show was in ROH. And I'll be honest.
So fuck him. He's not. He's for every gymnasium wrestling fan. Everybody that likes the fucking independent wrestling, and that's cool. If you like indie wrestling, he's an indie wrestling star. He also was a star at the mainstream level. You can't take that away from him. But he's boring as fuck in the ring in WWE. He was the only match that I ever could rewatch of his was him versus Cena in Chicago.
Yeah,
at Money in the Bank, just because of what that meant, and we didn't know what was going to happen. But other than that,
the audience sold that one.
Yeah. And like that's the thing is people will shit on John Cena. I can name 30 John Cena matches that were amazing. People say he can't wrestle. He's not supposed to wrestle. Guys that look like him are not supposed to wrestle. People get mad about Drew McIntyre. Like, I can't believe they took the belt from him. Why? He's fucking boring. He's a big motherfucker. He shouldn't talk. He shouldn't. Big dudes like that should never be a face. It makes no fucking sense. You can't talk. Don't be. Your biggest threat is your size and how badass you are. And then you try and be clever on the microphone. Fuck off. You're boring now. Like, that's what guys that look like us, regular guys, should be. The shit talkers. Or have a manager. Like, Roman Reigns right now is the best fucking thing in WWE.
Yeah, he is.
And it's not even close. And like people have been fucking shitting on this dude for so long. But reality, wrestling recycles the same storyline over and over and over again. And they're just like, all right, well, we're going to do it with this now.
Yep.
We're going to fucking, he's Brock Lesnar. And then we're going to pull some family bullshit on top of it to hype everybody up for when The Rock fights him at either Royal Rumble or Mania. And honestly, he should beat the fuck out of The Rock. He should just fucking destroy The Rock if that's how you want the story to be. But I just like, because it makes perfect sense. Like, you can't have a guy that you've been forcing down our throats for 7 years lose to a motherfucker who's 50 years old that makes movies with Kevin Hart. It doesn't make sense. He has to fucking dismantle this dude.
He does. Like I said, the torch was passed from Cena to Reigns for the face of the WWE because I mean Cena's not really there anymore.
How great was how he left?
Who, Cena?
Oh, was it not the most selfless fucking amazing?
Yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing how he left.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and now they're shitting on Bray Wyatt. Like now they're not really making his like you. They're not. It's.
I wouldn't say shit.
You could have done a lot more with him.
Here's their biggest problem with Bray Wyatt. Bray is too good at what he does.
He is.
Bray's too good at what he does. Bray has been planning The Fiend for about 1.5 years prior to when he debuted The Fiend, and I know this because his makeup artist, the guy that makes his mask and everything, lives in Pittsburgh and was telling me like, yeah, with the hair, he cut his hair and he used the hair for the fucking lamp or the lantern. He said, I'll grow it out because this is going to be my character when I come back. If you go back to WWE, they used to tell spooky stories. And like 4 years ago, he told a Halloween spooky story and he described The Fiend. And then 3 years later, The Fiend. So like, this is like, so the biggest problem with Bray Wyatt is he was so hot that his merch was through the fucking roof. So they were like, let's just give him the belt. But then it was like, then what do we do once he has the belt? Bray Wyatt's character should have never been in the championship run. Because it's The Undertaker. The Undertaker doesn't need a title to be the most dominating, most badass wrestler ever. When The Undertaker came out as a kid, you were scared shitless and you knew he never was going to fucking lose.
Yeah.
but he never had the belt. He didn't need the belt because all that does is takes away from somebody who needs the belt. Like Drew McIntyre without a belt fucking sucks. Who is he? He's just some tall dickhead at Jack's on a Thursday night. Like, that's it. He's nothing special. Bray Wyatt doesn't need the championship belt. Bray Wyatt's character is larger than a belt. If he's a fiend and what he does is seek revenge and he brings back people's darkness sides, like, then that's all you need. Get him out of the fucking title picture, or you should just have him win the title and fucking destroy it and not want it.
Yeah, because I was going to say you have that, like, because then you're going to put him in a thing against Randy Orton, who has the title. I mean, you can't have the Fiend lose now. You know what I mean? Which would mean he gets the title.
But are they going to go with that angle?
It depends, because they're gonna, if they do the same. But this is the problem what they've developed. They're doing this Finn Balor bullshit, where if you wear your fucking Halloween mask, you're a different person. Like, fuck you. We're not stupid. Why? How come Finn Balor, who's 5'2.5", puts on fucking makeup from Spirit and all of a sudden can't be beat, but then takes one bad bump off on a fucking guardrail and is out for a year and a half, dressed up spooky? Like, it's annoying. Like, it's like, dude, like, I get it. It's entertainment, but it's like Bray's character is so dominant and he's so badass that it's like I love fucking Mr. Rogers Bray Wyatt when he just gets his ass kicked and he laughs. To me, that's the psychopath. That's so funny to me. And then how the puppets show up in the audience, like, to me, that was great. Like, what his program with Braun Strowman was awesome.
It was.
Like, I loved it. I thought it was so good. Do I think Bray should have won? Yeah, but like I said, like, you don't have to win the belt to mean anything. So just get disqualified. Just kill people. If you lose by DQ, you're both still over.
True.
That's true.
You know what I mean? And that's the problem. It's like when he lost clean to Braun, I was like, why? Now what? You know what I mean? It's like, you can't. This guy. Well, how's he scary? If fucking everybody beats him, Goldberg beat him in 30 seconds. If I was Vince, I'd have said, you know what? Fuck you. We don't need you. We don't need you for a fucking ISIS pay-per-view. Like, we don't need you. Like, we don't need you. They're fuck Saudi Arabia. The fucking women weren't even allowed there the first time, and then they can't wear their fucking outfits. No, you got to wear a fucking Hanes t-shirt. You can't show skin. You can wear your gimmick, but you wear a t-shirt over it. What the fuck's the point? You look like every dickhead at Steeler games that has a fucking Steelers jersey over a tie. Like, I get it, asshole. You have a job with 401k. That's awesome.
So, speaking of entertainers in wrestling, some people on Loudmouth Sports Group don't get that there's wrestlers and then there's entertainers in wrestling.
Yeah.
Because people think on this group that Hulk Hogan is like one of God's greatest wrestlers.
Well, fun fact, he actually is a beast fucking wrestler. He if you go watch his videos when he's in Japan, he can fucking wrestle. But his style, like, the thing is, his style doesn't make sense. That's the thing. Like, that's what people don't understand. Like, if John Cena can do a flip off the top ropes. Anybody can do. Otis can do it. Like, anybody can do it. But it takes away from when Rey Mysterio does it because that's what he has. So if somebody else does that, then it's like, oh, well, you're 5'4". Like, what do you have? Well, I swing across a rope and kill somebody in Mexico. Like, that's all he has. Oh, too real? Too real?
Oh, shit.
Matt.
Listen, I'm just
trying to forget about that.
No, fuck his goofy ass son who's never been in a weight room.
Oh,
thank you.
Yeah.
He just, like, I get it. Like, you want to wrestle. That's so cool, man. So do I. But, like, I'm not in WWE. Like, you're built like a fucking bus boy. Like, that's it. Like, oh, you carry fucking plates? Oh, you're tough. Like, he has no personality. He looks like he still hasn't gone through puberty, even though he's a foot taller than his dad. He's awkward as fuck. Like, this is the worst Make-A-Wish WWE has ever granted. Ever. Like, this dude is worse than Nicholas, who was a tag team champion with Braun fucking Strowman, that little 5-year-old or whatever.
Oh,
People are like, well, he has potential. Motherfucker, everybody has potential. Any indie wrestler can do what that motherfucker does. Anybody could. I could do what he does. You could do what he does. Luch, you could do what he does. You know what I mean? If you get off drugs, like, and we could. I mean, fuck, Jeff Hardy did it on drugs. Maybe you could do it. I don't know. Just don't fight Sting at Road of Glory, and you'll be fine. Victory.
Oh, that was terrible. But speaking of Dominic, did you watch SmackDown? What do you think of this whole gimmick that they're doing?
I quit watching.
You don't like the gimmick?
I haven't watched Raw or SmackDown for the longest time because of how fucking corny everything is. See, to me, SmackDown is the premier brand because they're on Fox. Michael Cole breaks down everything that's going on in WWE to non-wrestling fans. And so if you've never watched wrestling before, he tells you the story before every match, whether you notice it or not. Like, he's doing a great job. But I haven't watched. I mean, I honestly, I liked Raw Underground, and then they got rid of it. I don't know. I thought it was cool. I thought it was different. I mean, even though it was pretty much Bloodsport from fucking GCW, but like, it was still cool. Like, I liked it because like guys like Dolph, who actually can fucking wrestle, would put dudes in holds, even though it was fake. But you'd be like, oh, this motherfucker can fight. Like, pound for pound, he would probably beat the fuck out of 90% of the roster in WWE.
Yeah,
and that,
he can out wrestle 99% probably.
Yeah, maybe fucking Shorty G and Otis would be the two that he couldn't. By the way, that's the worst fucking name ever.
Ooh, what, Shorty G?
Well, he went back. He went back to
Chad Gable.
Yeah, I saw that, and I'm like, that's cool, man. Like, because that name was terrible.
Do you guys watch Impact?
Fuck no.
No.
So Tommy Dreamer, Sean,
can't.
You mentioned this to me.
Yeah, I can't. Like,
Tommy Dreamer.
You had a wedding,
I
and
saw
then somebody got shot. Like,
his candy corn.
No. Yeah, that was terrible.
It's bad, dude. Like, so I don't like talking shit because, like I know people in all the companies, but I don't work for them, and I think they wouldn't mind if I critiqued it. Impact is the worst program of all time. With no crowd, well, they're not used to a crowd, but even now, like, it is just so fucking bad. Because our champion at Blackcraft was John Morrison. Like, I reached out to John and I was like, I want you to be our champ, and then I want your wife to be involved. And one of the gimmicks we were actually going to run because I knew he was signing with WWE, I was like, all right, well, you're going to drop the title our WrestleMania weekend. And he was like, to who? And we didn't know who we were going to do it. We were going to make it his wife, and they were going to do a domestic fight, like kitchens, like throwing sinks and plates at each other, and make her the first fucking champ. It was his idea, but we didn't do that. But anyways, my whole point was when he left, like Sami Callihan, like, I think he's so boring.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's like if you bought Stone Cold Steve Austin at a flea market. Like, I play poker with him, and he's really bad at poker too. But for wrestling, it's not for me. Like, I don't enjoy it. You know what I mean? And like Tommy Dreamer, all right, dude, like, you're 70. Like, you look like my biggest problem with wrestlers is like the gimmick of a wrestler is you're supposed to be larger than life. You're supposed to be a superhero. That's why when a referee gets elbowed, he's retarded for 6 months. Like, he's in a coma. He can't fucking move. He's paralyzed, you know, but these guys can hit each other as much as they want. But then like Tommy Dreamer, who's like 68 years old, comes out fucking limping before the match starts. I'm like, am I supposed to believe this guy's going to win a match? Really? Like, why? Like Sabu, like you fucked up moves when you were 12, and now you're 79. What, like, where's the credibility? Like, at some point, give it the fuck up. Like, I toured with Rob Van Dam, and I talk to Rob not often, but like, he's a guy that still has it. He's a guy that can still put on a show. And I remember he didn't even want to wrestle. When I was on tour with him, he's like, I don't wrestle anymore. I charge $10,000 because I don't want to wrestle. But if you're dumb enough to pay me $10,000, I'll come out there and wrestle. Because why not? You know what I mean? So like he did Pacific Championship Wrestling, which was right by his house, but he did that cheaper just because it was right there. He didn't give a fuck. So like when he came back, like he's on Impact, right?
He just actually left, him and Katie Forbes.
Wait, what?
Him and Katie Forbes just left Impact because of their contract was up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he, I think, is done. Like, he just wants to be done.
Yeah, he really, like, the thing is like, because I remember he was going through a divorce when we went on tour. And then when they were making the movie Headstrong, did you see it? He's a movie about
I think I've seen parts of it.
Well, I'm in it, so you didn't see it, or you would have said, I saw you, Matt. So fuck you. So, and second, because I remember Katie's like, I want to be in the movie. And it's like, we shot this 3 years ago. So then they just added newer clips, and then that's when they put it out. But my point is just like fucking Impact sucks. It's terrible. And when you were saying about Jeff Jarrett with Cody, it's 100% the same fucking thing. This Tony Khan dude is a fucking idiot.
He's a mark that should not run a company.
He's a money mark. He will do whatever they say. They're going to fucking drain that down. They're going to be completely fucking broke. They're not making money. People are like, oh, the ratings versus NXT. Okay, but there's a reason why those ratings aren't good enough. There's a reason why WWE stock is fucking plummeting. There's a reason why they're releasing so many fucking wrestlers, why they're making so many cuts, why the commentary team hasn't come back, because that isn't sufficient. That's not going to make it. Yeah, are you getting attention, AEW? Absolutely. But are you at a point where it's going to be profitable? Fuck no. The contract that they gave Chris Jericho is absolutely ridiculous. Like fucking absurd numbers, ridiculous. And the contract that they give all the other talent, like, I won't use names, but like they're all pretty much six figures. If you're a top person, you're all six figures. Okay, where's this fucking money coming from? Where is it coming from? I don't understand.
Tony Khan's dad.
No, but I'm saying like, where are you recouping this money at?
Nowhere.
I mean, like, if you looked after the first month when they were going on tour for wrestling, their arenas were halfway filled. Mm-hmm. And that's 6,000 people. So that means that 3,000 people were showing up to these live events. That's not enough to make money for travel and everything like that.
No.
You know what I mean?
I think AEW is going to have a downfall because they keep letting their wrestlers do some of this backyard bullshit and these spots and these stunts.
Yeah.
Like just recently, Abaddon, that female wrestler, stopped breathing after a spot.
Well, did you see the other dude that they
left in the ring?
They left him in the ring and kept wrestling?
Yeah. I don't know how as a ref you see that and you just go, all right, well, we'll just keep going.
There's those
I don't know how you do that.
You have Matt Hardy, who's a fucking vegetable, when he fucking fell off the crane or whatever the fuck that was.
Threw up the X 3 times. No one came to help him.
Yeah, it's insane. Like it's fucking insane. But like, I mean, like, but AEW to me, like, there's three people that I really enjoy in AEW. It's Jericho, because it's Jericho.
Yeah.
But I just love how they said they wanted to be something different, but they're literally WCW. Like, they're literally the exact same thing. You were pissed off that old wrestlers weren't champions. You know what I mean? Well, you had your fucking 8 months with Jericho as champion. He's 51 years old.
Yeah.
Right. So what does that put legitimacy to the title? And then so your number 2 champion is now Dean Ambrose, who is the 3rd best member in the Shield. So like, put over your guys and then build those guys up, make them work themselves up. It's the same fucking thing that WCW did with Hall and Nash. Two fucking guys that weren't the top guys at WWE. Nash was at one point, but not significantly during their lowest ratings. And then they go over to WCW and stick their dicks in them. It's the exact same thing that they're doing with AEW.
Yeah.
But the three people that I think are great is MJF, Jericho, and Britt Baker. Britt as a heel,
she's good.
It's hysterical. She fucking makes me laugh so hard. But like that's the thing though. It's like I think heel, like, because she's been wanting to be heel for a really long time, and she told me, she's like, yeah, I get to finally be heel. I'm like, it's great because like you're a bitch, like you're gonna be great at it. You know what I mean? So when she turned heel, like that's literally just her.
Oh, is it?
It's literally just her. Like, but it's so funny because it's like you get paid to be you. You know what I mean? Like that's so fucking cool, man. And MJF is like, he's like, the thing about him, it's like you got a guy who literally is an 80s wrestler. Like he's a throwback. He doesn't break kayfabe at all. At all. No. If a kid dresses up like him for Halloween, he says, go see a dentist, fix your fucking teeth. Like he just shits on them. And it's just so fucking mean. And it's like, but that's what you want.
Right.
Like to me, like when I was going to get autographs at wrestling events, like I wanted Vader to tell me fuck off and like scream at me. Like I didn't want Vader to be, oh, have a great night. You know what I mean? Yeah, like, because it ruins it for you, you know? But it is funny seeing them break character. You know what I mean? Like when they just laugh at shit that's so like when Brock lost it when fucking R-Truth came in.
Oh, yeah, he broke character so fat.
That was the funniest fucking thing because do you know the story behind that?
Yeah, apparently that was supposed to be that was a rip.
Brock.
They were ripping Brock.
Yeah. So Paul Heyman said, I bet you can't make Brock Lesnar laugh. He goes, yes, I can. And they're like, yo, I totally can. And Paul Heyman's like, all right, well, we'll see. So they go up there. And if you watch closely, Paul Heyman's going like this because he knows what's going on. Brock has no fucking clue. And R-Truth just comes out there and just starts going off. And Brock doesn't know what the fuck is going on. And you see him laugh, like you see him like smirk. And then he starts laughing hard because he's like, okay, I can get away with this because I'm about to fuck him up. You know what I mean?
Right.
But dude, like just seeing like that shit to me is the best. Like my favorite of all time, this was a really shitty gimmick, was when Shawn Michaels was like supposedly poor and he needed help with his financials.
With JBL.
Yeah. And JBL's poking him in the chest. He goes, you listen to me. You work for me. And Shawn is biting his lips so fucking hard. And you hear JBL laughing like, listen to me, damn it. And just starts to laugh. Like, I mean, because if they both laugh, I mean, there's 16,000 people in the audience, plus the millions that watching at home. You literally ruin wrestling for everybody. That's the thing about wrestling that I think is so impressive, is how they don't break character. And that's why so many of them are limited.
And that's why I would love to see that's why I'd love to see MJF and The Miz go at it in a promo.
It would be great.
I think.
Who do you think would win, honestly?
And I think The Miz could break MJF, have MJF break character and laugh.
Here's the thing.
Miz lately has broken character a lot more lately.
I think The Miz he's one of my favorite wrestlers. Like I love The Miz, and people shit on him. I'm like, why? Why don't you? He literally does exactly what you want. And I know a lot of people hate Baron Corbin too. I fucking love Baron Corbin because he gets
terrible.
Perfect. Because when he comes out to the ring, you want him to die.
That you know what?
You want him to fucking. There's no such thing as, like they say there's bad heat. Like there's no bad. No. If you don't fucking like somebody and you want them to fucking die in the ring, like he's doing his job. Every time he goes out, don't you want someone to just beat the fuck out of him?
Oh yeah.
because it's like you're trying so hard to be somebody you're not. The lone wolf thing was cool. Why are you wearing dress shirts with your Kohl's Cash, asshole? Like, that's not you. You know what I mean? You look like a valet driver at the casino. Like, what the fuck are you dressed as? But it's so fucking funny because he's so unlikable that it's great.
Yeah.
But Miz versus MJF, here's the thing. The Miz, I think, has more hate behind him than MJF. I think a lot of the things that MJF says is shit I've heard. Like it's insults that I've heard before. He just says them with no consequences. Where the Miz could just be like, hey, listen, you act like people don't like you. Try being on a fucking reality show and coming here and being the world champion and nobody in this locker room respecting you, right? Like your best friend in the company, low-key, runs AEW. So don't tell me that you're this badass, this tough guy, whatever.
Well, I do have to say, me and my girl has started watching Miz and Mrs. And
it's scripted as fuck, but it's so funny.
It is hilarious.
Hilarious. Sean, it's hilarious.
It is. I've watched it.
I watched because of Dolph.
Oh, dude. Dolph
He's so funny.
Is hilarious. And I didn't know how close them two actually were.
Yeah.
Them two are pretty close. Bro, Sean, the conversations between Miz and Dolph, and even Miz and his wife, that made me respect Miz more as a person.
Oh yeah,
on a whole nother
family man. He's a fucking family man.
Yeah,
he's got his shit together. He's a loyal dude.
Exactly, because in the show,
dad is a fucking idiot. Shit.
His dad's something else, man.
His dad is such a fucking goofball, dude. Like, but he's perfect for the show.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's like
that's
for the
him.
show, that's really just how
that's
him.
He's a fucking airhead.
Yeah,
like he's legit like that.
The best story I think that I ever heard the Miz say is when like his dad went to like WrestleMania, got a book, and like fake signatured all the wrestlers in his like book, like Andre the Giant, Hulk Hogan. He put all these fake signatures and so like, look, I got all these signatures for you. And he said, as he got older, he's like looking through it and he noticed like the handwriting's all the same. He's like, he signed it and said it like.
So I have a great story about that. My mom has a baseball signed by the 70s Pirates. And she cherishes it. She keeps it in a sock. I don't know why. But I was like 15 years old and she's like, I want to show you something. And I started laughing so hard. And she's like, what's so funny? I go, none of these are real. And she's like, what are you talking about? I was like, listen, I was like, every R is the exact same. And her dad's name is Ernie. I was like, see this one? That's Ernesto Clemente, Ernie Sanguillen. And I just kept naming everything with Ernie on it. My mom fucking cried because she thought this baseball was signed by the 71 fucking Pirates or 79 Pirates when they won the World Series. She legit thought that her dad went to the locker room because you could just go to a fucking locker room because you didn't know anybody because he was a Golden Gloves boxer, 5 foot, fucking Italian idiot. Like just, oh yeah, let me walk in here, buongiorno, fucking sign this. My mom thought this fucking thing was real. And when I told her it wasn't real, my dad and I would laugh so hard. And I was like, what year did your dad win the World Series? And she's like, shut the fuck up, Matt. Fuck you. It's so much fun.
But the biggest thing is with this Roman Reigns angle. With The Rock, do you do a somatic match? Like me and Luch on an island as like a Samoan chance and they just go
no
unless you do 2 matches.
No, I think you really just have to wait until you can have crowds. You can't have this match in a fucking empty arena. I don't give a fuck. You can't do it. You can't do it.
Did you guys watch NXT? They had live audience.
I saw that.
They had a live audience NXT plus the Thunderdome. So I don't know what's coming.
Here's what's going to happen. So they have WrestleMania scheduled to be in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
I'm thinking by New Year's Day, they're going to change that and they're going to move it back to Florida. And they're going to just say, fuck it. We're going all in because Florida lifted how many people you can have. So you can have 100% occupancy if you want to do it. The NFL's decided we're for the Super Bowl right now, we're looking at 20%, which is like 15,000, right? Vince McMahon does not give a fuck about anybody. Vince McMahon almost had WrestleMania still happen. We were going to go. I was like, fuck yeah, let's go. Like, Vince, if he pulls this off, he's the baddest motherfucker of all time. If Florida allows you to have 70,000 people, that motherfucker will put 90 in there.
He'll put 90 in Orlando. In Orlando, yeah.
Because I don't want to be fuck COVID because I'm not that person, but I'm fucking over it. I'm over it.
I already said COVID's going to end after November 3rd, after we get another presidency. So
yeah,
that'll all end.
My whole thing is, it's just like, dude, like at this point, we just got to live. I understand that there's risks, but so same with jumping off a fucking ladder, bro. There's a big risk at that. And I like that risk. I wanted to see Kevin Owens jump off that fucking pirate ship so bad.
Oh yeah.
That would have been so awesome because when he went there and toured it, he pointed at it, goes, I'm fucking jumping off this. And they're like, okay. And then when they were setting up for the WWE event indoors, the day of, he looked up, he goes, well, I'm going to jump off this then instead. And they were like, what? He's like, just figure it out. How can I get up there? I'm jumping. I love Kevin Owens too, but that's just like, the thing is like, I think a lot of these younger wrestlers that don't have secured contracts or secured legacies is somebody who like the guys that are just like, because WWE signs people just so that you can't wrestle somewhere, right? Like that's what NXT to me really is right. You can't wrestle overseas, you can't wrestle in Japan, and now you can't sign with AEW, right? Like that's what it seems like to me. But what that does is like that stunts a lot of character development and growth, and I think that's where I have a problem with WWE. Not the CM Punk where I don't get to wrestle. It's no, dude, like there's just so much talent that I don't get TV time. And that should be inexcusable when you have 3 hours of a bad show twice a fucking week. Like we can't see new characters. Like the one thing AEW does amazing is they bring in an indie guy every fucking week to fight for that fucking United States Championship or whatever they want to call it, whatever mid-card belt that he doesn't like mid-card belts, but he fucking has one because he wants to pat himself on the back. That fucking belt. Like, that's great. Like, that's so cool to show indie wrestlers off. And if they do really well, maybe they'll get signed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think AEW is a great thing. I really do. I just don't know how they're going to make money.
They need to tighten up loose ends.
We ran into the same problem when we did Blackcraft Wrestling. So when we had Blackcraft Wrestling, we were the most popular indie company overnight because of the Blackcraft clothing. Everybody wore our shit. Like Seth Rollins wore it into when he fucking came back from his knee injury and fucking pedigreed Roman Reigns. Like, they all wear the shit, right? So, like, we had so much hype behind us, but we also had so much money that we just were budgeting way out of, like, our budget. Like, our first show, we spent $80,000. And just, like, all kinds of shit. We had 2 vans outside doing production and all this unnecessary costs. And wrestlers knew that. So if a wrestler makes, like, $150 a night, they were telling us they were making $450. And I'd said, like, because my buddy runs VOW, another indie wrestling, and we were like, there's no fucking way he makes that much money. We just know he doesn't. And Bobby was like, no, pay him. He's a good guy. He's a good guy. You know what I mean? But when you do that so much, they take advantage of it. Then they talk shit on us in the locker room. Then there's no respect for us. Then they don't care about the matches. And then it becomes a joke. which was our issue, is that we didn't have an authority figure like Tony Khan. I bet you he's never said no to somebody.
No,
I
agree.
Like the Young Bucks will go in there, but this is a great idea. So we're going to super kick somebody 94 times because no one's ever done that move. And then he's like, oh, yeah, I like that. I like that. Yeah. Like, if you think this is going to be successful, look at the fucking Jacksonville Jaguars. Like, if you want, like, you can, like, they're the only team that hasn't been affected in attendance this year. Like, they're the only fucking team. Nobody fucking goes to see them. Nobody cares about them. They clean house all the time. It's like, I feel like they're spending so much money on AEW that they're like, yeah, we'll cut Fournette. Fuck them. We can't afford them. Like, it's like how Vince did with when he got fucked on the XFL. He's like, we're cutting all our employees. We're going to fucking share the wealth from one way to the other. So if I'm going to lose hundreds of $1 million in the XFL, guess what? I'm fucking firing 40 people right now. Fuck them. You know, and WWE is shady as fuck because how are these people not allowed to have Twitch?
I don't know because are you or are you not a 1099? You're an independent contractor.
You're an independent contractor. You get no health insurance.
Right.
You have to pay for your flights.
Most of them don't pay for travel. They don't like, so if I'm independent contractor, if you own the rights to my name and my likeliness, that's one thing. But like Paige, why can't she be Saraya? Why is that an issue? She doesn't say she's Paige on there. Xavier Woods says he's Austin Creed. This dude has spent years building his brand. Just for WWE to be like, all right, well, we'll make a jacket, but we're going to take 99% of your fucking shit. Like, to me, it's such bullshit. I understand, like, you know, like Paige, like, here's my thing. Like, so I got pissed off in the comment section when I saw dudes shitting on her. First of all, for how she looks. When I'm looking at the group, I'm like, all right, there's one fat motherfucker who plays semi-league football at 55 years old, doesn't make any money doing it, but he's talking shit on a girl who literally was a millionaire at 23 years old. We're going to talk about how she looks. And then the other guy who looks like a fucking walking Amber Alert, was like, she looks like shit. All right, Megan's Law, shut the fuck up. You'd still stick it in, okay? Like, I get, like, you can, like, because the internet is a fucking rude place, and it's a hateful place. But when I see that shit, I just get mad because it's like, she's still a person. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's went through a lot of shit. Like, a lot of shit that people don't fucking know. And so she goes on her Twitch. She breaks down because she's pretty much like, I haven't even been using WWE for a year. You just don't want me to go elsewhere. You just don't want me to do other shit. Why do you think Daniel Bryan came back to wrestle? Do you know why he came back to wrestle?
Get out that contract.
Because he had a contract with WWE, and he said, just so you know, when this contract's up, I'm fucking wrestling because your dickhead doctor has been lying, saying that I'm not cleared for wrestling. I'm going to Japan. I'm going to wrestle. So either you fucking let me or I'm getting out of this contract and wrestling. And then all of a sudden,
he's back.
The doctors are like, oh my God, it's a miracle. It's been 2 fucking years. It's been 2 years he was fine to wrestle.
Yeah.
He won it out. And they dropped the fucking ball on that too. How did you not feud The Miz?
How was
that not your first match back?
I don't know. Like that Talking Smack episode when he went off on him, he said, I wanted him to punch me in the mouth. Like, it would have been great if he punched him in the mouth. Like, actually punched him in the mouth.
Like,
and then
if that was real, you got to do it. If they were teasing to something, then they dropped the fucking ball. Regardless, it was just so poorly executed.
Yeah.
But wrestling fans, I think the biggest problem that they have is that when we were kids and we watched wrestling, like, there was only one show a week, right? Monday Night Raw.
Yep.
And so, like,
maybe for you two.
What's that?
Maybe for when you two were kids. I had both Raw and SmackDown.
How old are you?
24.
Look terrible for it. So I'm just kidding. Like 30.
Oh, shit.
No, but for us, like, a storyline lasted 3 months.
Yeah.
Usually it was like 3 pay-per-views and it was over. You know what I mean? That's how they would do it. Now the attention span is just done. Wrestling fans get bored easily, and then you're on to the next one, on to the next one. Same old shit. I could watch Ziggler and The Miz fight every week.
Agree.
Yeah.
That fucking Night of Champions match where Dolph's retirement.
Great storyline.
To me, it's the best match in the last 10 years. Because he didn't know he was winning until he got there.
Wow.
He was leaving WWE, like legit leaving WWE. And they're like, all right, you're champ. The funniest fucking thing he ever did was when he won the U.S. title in the triple threat match. And then the next day he goes, you don't deserve me, and just dropped the title. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
It was like Bobby Roode versus Baron Corbin. And Dolph somehow got into it for no fucking reason. And then he wins. And then
he you don't deserve me. He
drops the belt and leaves. I was like, well, what the fuck was the point of that? When he used to come out and do everybody else's gimmick.
That was great.
It was so fucking funny. He could have kept doing that. And they dropped the ball on him last year. They made him fight Goldberg.
Oh, they
were teasing Shawn Michaels the whole fucking time.
Should have had him go after. You should have had him and Michaels.
Because so WWE's main executives, the biggest gripe that they have about him is they say, you're trying too hard to be Shawn Michaels. You're just Shawn Michaels. You're Shawn Michaels. You're Shawn Michaels. You need to develop into who you are. So why not WWE's NXT fucking developer, Shawn Michaels, come out and be like, stop being me, kid. You'll never be me. And have them fight at SummerSlam. It would have been fun.
You guys really want to see that?
What's that?
Do you guys really want to see Shawn Michaels right now versus Dolph Ziggler?
100%.
Yeah, why not?
You don't think he can do it?
Can't even walk. Sean can't even see the ring when he comes out of the entrance.
Why not?
Because of his cockeye. Okay,
he's been cockeyed for 15 years.
Yeah, but now it's bad. Now he's looking over there as the one's looking at you.
I don't give a fuck.
So, very good. Very good. So
he
listen,
still has it.
Still has it.
Oh yeah,
100%.
We barely sold Randy Orton.
When?
He could barely sell for Randy when Randy hit him.
When he was on top,
he felt like he was a 90-year-old man.
He was in jeans.
He felt like he was 90.
Yeah, put him in his sexy boy pants, and he put him on it. Okay? The guy didn't have a match for 4 years. And fucking idiot Triple H tears his quad 3 minutes into the tag match. Shawn had to fucking wrestle in the worst match ever.
Oh, that was a horrible match.
With 3 fucking dinosaurs for 40 minutes by himself. He's the GOAT just for that. That match would have been phenomenal. By the way, please tell me that SummerSlam Goldberg Dolph Ziggler was the fucking best part of SummerSlam. When he fucking super kicks him 3 times.
Yeah.
And then he gets jackhammered. It's over. And he's on the ground. Goldberg, anybody can get lucky, idiot. And then he beats the shit out of him. And he's like, you're a pussy. And then he comes back. Like, that's the Dolph we need, because Dolph is legitimately like, he's a Cleveland kid. He's the Cleveland fucking Browns, because every match you watch him in, you believe he's gonna win.
Yeah,
he's that fucking good that he could fight 9 guys, and you're like, oh my god, he's gonna win this fucking match. He's gonna win, like the McIntyre match where there was 0% chance he was gonna win, right?
Right.
Did you not think when he gave him the rock bottom after the Rock fucking onto the steps? I'm like, this cocksucker's gonna win. He's gonna fuck it. Like, why not? Like, but that's what I miss. Like, I miss that in WWE when champions would come and go monthly. When fucking dude, like Bret Hart Diesel won his title at a fucking house show.
Yeah.
People don't even know that. Like, how did Diesel win his first title? He beat Bob fucking Backlund
in like 6 seconds or something.
Yeah, he just jackknifed him and walked the fuck out, and that was it. You know, when AJ Styles won the United States title at Madison Square Garden on a dark match, like that shit's awesome. That
I
makes
think,
me
and I think Samoa Joe beat Finn Balor at a house show in
Yeah.
NXT for the NXT title.
that's awesome. Like that's the like I love storytelling, and that's a big part. But like maybe I just as a kid didn't realize it. But why is the Royal Rumble so fucking predictable every year?
Yeah.
Like, why is it? How do I know every year it's going to be one person? That's what fucking annoys me. There's 30 people in there, and I understand, like, there's going to be guys that, like, yeah, like, they're jobbers. There's 30 people. We want to get them in, get them some FaceTime, and that's great. And then they bring back old legends to make it fun. But why the fuck every year is it like, oh, like, if you didn't think Drew McIntyre was going to win this year, like, you're a fucking idiot. Like, who else was going to win that? You know what I mean?
I don't even remember the 4 that were in that. I know it was McIntyre. I can't remember the other 3.
That's the exact because it didn't matter because you knew they weren't going to win. Like Roman Reigns, like and you know this is so funny because Roman Reigns' push literally started in Pittsburgh. Like this whole fucking thing started in Pittsburgh because Batista won the Royal Rumble in Pittsburgh.
Oh yeah,
we were all cheering Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Not because we wanted him to win. We just didn't want that motherfucker to win.
You didn't want Batista to win, yeah.
And Vince is like, that's good shit.
At that stage, we booed him out of that arena. That
you
was
know who I felt. You know who I felt so bad for
was a little
Mysterio. Rey Mysterio. Because he came out at 30, and everybody.
Oh, and they booed. Yeah,
they were like, "Fuck him." So here's a fun story. You want to hear a really cool story?
All right.
So I was backstage for the Royal Rumble. I was there when Daniel Bryan was told he's not going to be in the Royal Rumble. I was literally right fucking there when he was told he was. By the way, he should shave his thighs. It's disgusting. Dude, like, I don't know if that camera light is so bright. Dude has like a pussy bush on his thighs. It's hysterical. But yeah, we saw him be told he's fucking not doing. And then he jobbed. Didn't he lose to Bray Wyatt?
Yeah.
I think he lost it clean. So it was like which made no sense because usually WWE's theory is that if you lose early on in the night and you have something coming up, you win. Right. Rollins got fucking RKO'd to the moon, WrestleMania, and then he cashed in. You know what I mean? Like that's typically what happens is you get your ass beat earlier in the night and then you cash in. But yeah, we saw that. I met CM Punk. That was his last match ever. Randy Orton was a complete dickhead.
Really? I heard he ever since like now older, he's been a lot more nicer.
So this was also 6 years ago too.
Yeah.
And he actually, I probably believe that because my buddy actually started a clothing line with Randy. It's called Slither. It's coming out soon. And he was actually supposed to wear his hoodie when he won the title. Okay. Well, so he was supposed to win the first match against McIntyre because he was going to wear the hoodie. And then we saw him not come out with the hoodie. I go, well, what the fuck? Is he not winning? So he didn't win. And we were like, this is fucking weird. So then we realized it was 3 things because they were going to release his clothes the night he won. They put it off. So anyways, he was a complete dickhead, but I hear he's nice now. The fucking Usos were the best because we were talking to them and we were like, hey, you excited for the Rumble? He's like, dude, you're going to blink and I'm going to be thrown out of the fucking ring. He's like, I'm in there for 3 seconds. Like, I just think it's so cool. Like when they show up and they hear what's going to happen and they don't give a fuck. Like, because dude, it's a dream job. Like, would you really care if you were never fucking champion? I would not give a fuck. I would never care. Unless the crowd, because if the crowd is the one that, to me, it's all about money. If I'm selling merch, I don't give a fuck. I could lose every week. You know what I mean? As long as I'm over and if you're booing or you're cheering, I'm happy. If you're silent, like, yeah, I suck. when you're silent when somebody comes out. That's why these dudes, like, I think wrestling is terrible now with no audience, but like, I don't know how the fuck they can do it.
I mean,
like, with nobody there, the type of energy when they hulk up and shit, I don't know how they can do it.
I mean, there's some guys that came from the indies that are used to that because there's only been like, you go to an indie show, there might only be like 10 people. So you have like those guys I can understand, but like the Drew McIntyre and
people are still cheering though.
Yeah.
Like they're still like they're literally looking at TV monitors of nerds with acne jerking off. Like that's it. Like they don't get to see or hear like if like this is awesome, like the momentum, like because as a comedian, like to me, if I don't get a laugh in my first joke, I think the show's gonna be terrible. So like when they do their first big spot, and they don't hear anything, they don't know. You know what I mean? They don't know if they executed it well. And it's like, fuck, like, when's the comeback? When is this? Like, who? So I give them a lot of credit for what they're doing right now. But as a fan, I don't enjoy any of it. And they're doing a great job, but I can't get into it.
Yeah, I do have to agree. It's a lot harder to get into matches sometimes without the fans watching at home. And like you said, for them, it's probably hard at first. It was probably hard. Yeah. But now I don't know I think Sean, you've been in the Thunderdome, right?
Yeah.
Matt,
Thunderdome?
Yeah, have you been on the Thunderdome?
No, I haven't been in the Thunderdome.
Well, it is completely terrible because during everything, they tell you what to do.
I figured when their hands are up and they're all clapping. Who the fuck claps at home, you fucking creep? Wrestling. Like, fuck that.
And you're only on for like so long, and then they switch you off. Then you're like, you're not.
Else on?
And they put somebody else on your spot.
What they do is
you might only be on for like, I was only on for like 45 minutes, and then I was done for the whole night. I started watching, and they were like, start cheering, and I'm like, yeah, and then it's like, next thing I know, I'm gone. I'm like, what the fuck?
Has anyone pulled their dick out yet?
A woman has flashed her tits. There's been
Benoit shit.
There's Benoit. There was Kenny Omega.
Kenny Omega. I saw the KKK guy.
Actually, that was him.
Wait,
I actually think that was Kenny Omega. Like, people were like, I really think Kenny Omega just popped up in there. Honestly.
Oh, really?
It really didn't look like, if you go back and search it, he's like moving and shit. There's no way you can act like there's a picture and it's moving.
What if they just put a video of him?
Yeah, there's it's on YouTube somewhere.
And I think an AEW sign showed up on it.
Yeah, that's one thing. My one buddy got kicked off because he had an AEW shirt on.
I saw that. He
had a jacket, and then once it started, he unzipped the jacket and went like this, and then they kicked him right then and there.
Did some dude hang himself?
They showed a video of some guy. There was the guy who got his head chopped off.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
That's great.
He got his head chopped off, and it was right behind, like, dead center screen. Dead center, head decapitated.
What they should do, if they're smart, I'm not going to say anything fucked up, I swear to God. They should have Bray Wyatt in one of the fucking Thunderdome things.
Yeah.
Somebody. They should have the puppets and different things. And talking to them and shit. And then eventually they all become puppets. You know what I mean? Or they're like,
that's a good idea.
What the fuck is going on? Because there's so much that they can do with this. The thing that they created is beautiful. Like, it's so fucking cool looking.
Yeah.
And it's all trial and error. Like, I get that, but
and
like,
you can have even Retribution take over. I mean, literally.
Right? Like, don't they hack? Aren't they hackers?
They hackers hack into
so that. I love how stereotypical Vince has been. Why does he stereotype everybody? Like, he's like, hey, listen. Like, I feel like Vince is like, all right, you know what? We got 8 black guys. You're all gonna fight one segment, and then we're not gonna use you for the rest of the night. Have a good night. That was how, like, what are they called? The business? What are they called?
Hurt business. Hurt business.
So, like, the first feud that they did before they were a Hurt Business, they literally grabbed like 6 black dudes. They're like, all right, you 3 versus you 3, and then fuck off, get off my show. Kofi, you're already champ. I'm sick of this. I'm over this. Big E, go over there. Like, and then they have a fucking the Antifa, and they're like, hey, we're gonna make a Muslim guy lead a hacking company. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, why don't you just have him come out on a magic carpet too? And then fucking like how? And I'm not saying it because that's how I feel, but he's so obvious about it. Do you know what he said to Carlito when Carlito first debuted?
What did he say?
All right. I'm gonna say the words just because I have to say them so that you understand. He's like, you know, you're not Latin enough. And he's like, what do you mean? He's like, I need you to spick it up. That's what his slogan. He said to Carlito, you need to spick it up a little bit more.
Oh my God.
And he doesn't realize that it's wrong. That's why it's so funny to me. Like he told and like Carlito was like, all right.
Yeah, what did you say to that?
You spit apples?
Who remembers the segment where Vince dropped the N-word?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Right in front of
Booker T was like,
tell me he didn't just say that. I'm like,
he said, "I boss." He said, "I
said." Well, the thing is like if you go back and watch like wrestling, like there's so many clips that would be canceled. Like there was, and I couldn't stop laughing, dude. DX, when DX went against the Nation of Domination.
Oh my God, that's black. That was blackface.
No.
People don't realize that was blackface.
They go in blackface. They're holding up watermelon signs in the background. They said Farouk is an Uncle Tom on one of the signs. Dude, like, and I didn't know what that meant when I was 8. I was like, what does that mean?
No one knows what that means, yeah.
And if you read the book, Uncle Tom's Cabin, like, if anything, I thought he actually helped black people, Uncle Tom. So I didn't understand why that was a bad thing. Right. And then I started watching the network. Dude, when he's held up that sign, I fucking lost it because you don't expect, like, when I was a kid, I remember the segment, but I didn't remember that. And I saw it, I'm like, Jesus Christ. I'm like, this is the most fucked up shit ever.
It was the most racist thing you've ever watched. And people thought it was hilarious. And I'm like,
yeah. Wrestling would not be able to get even what you guys watch, and even what I watch would not be tolerated on today's television.
No, but the reason why I liked it though, because Vince always defended it. Vince said, in real life, there's racism. In real life, there's problems. He goes, so why can't these actors play characters that are racist, play characters that are assholes? The problem is that people can't separate now because of how much transparency there is in wrestling between a real life person and the character. You know what I mean? Right. So like back then, like Shawn Michaels was a fucking prick. Shawn Michaels, if he said something, that was just the character. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if John Cena comes out in blackface and goes, you can't see me, especially with the lights off, and says something like that, like people would be like, what the fuck? Like, and then Make-A-Wish would never have him back. They would never use him. But in reality, it's just a character. But there also has to be a line where, like, as a fan, being uncomfortable seeing things.
And the thing is, being uncomfortable is Vince always was about that, is to make you uncomfortable. I mean, you go from when he fought for versus God, like how
great was that?
That was a great.
I loved it.
And then he brought in Muhammad Hassan and made that like right around like the whole 9/11. I'm like,
yeah, he had to come out the ring. Go, what the fuck?
Yeah. And it made people so uncomfortable, but people loved it and watched it. And I was like,
oh, yeah.
You do that now?
Oh, Oh, bro, if you see a guy like 10 years ago, if you saw a guy in a turban come out to the ring, he could be a good guy, and you're like, fuck you. But that's what's so funny about wrestling now is like, wrestling is like the wrestling fans aren't like most of them are so progressive and they don't even like the Attitude Era, which is so weird.
I don't know how do you don't like the Attitude Era?
Because to me, that was the best time for wrestling. And like now it's so much production, so much of an opera. But I'm like, how do you defend this? I get like things are supposed to be fun, but like it's kind of corny. Like indie wrestling to me sucks now. Because it's very like one dude that I really like is Chris Dickinson, and we use him at Blackcraft because he's just like no bullshit. Like he's a wrestler. He's like, fuck these gimmicks. They're stupid. I'm not fucking grabbing a dick and flipping. I'm beating the fuck out of you. You know what I mean? Like Joey Ryan, when Joey Ryan first came out, to me, it was the funniest thing ever. Do you know who Joey Ryan is?
Yeah, I've seen Joey Ryan.
So like he got into a lot of shit recently, but I don't care about that. I'm talking like 3 years ago when we first seen him on like just flexing and dude flipping because his dick was so big.
Yeah.
And he told the story about that. So he was fighting in Japan, and the Japanese wrestler he was fighting had broken English and didn't talk. He goes, I grab you, so because American dick so big, so strong compared to ours. And he was like, all right. Joey Ryan's like, I'll fucking do it because he was like a sleazy Val Venus style wrestler anyway.
Right.
So he's hulking up his dick, and this Asian dude flips because the American. So then everyone starts chanting, "So big, so strong, so big." And he was my favorite wrestler for like a year just because of his dick. Like it was so funny. But then like I look back and I'm like for that it was funny because it was like joke wrestling. I didn't take that wrestling serious. But like when you try and watch indie wrestling and you want to take it serious and that shit's on the card, then I'm just like, you lost me. It's like going to a haunted house and bumping into one of the actors and go, oh, excuse me, you can't touch me. Fuck you. Cut my throat. Like, weren't you supposed to kill me earlier? And now all of a sudden, like you're the Target employee. Like, fuck off. Don't break character. I hate it.
That is one thing that I feel very strongly about is if you have a gimmick and a fan comes up to you, you should be that gimmick.
100%.
100%. Yes.
Because it makes it better. When I met Cena, as much as because I was a Make-A-Wish, he wasn't the full like Thuganomics, but he was still Thuganomic Cena.
You need a new foam finger behind you. I don't like yours. You need this one, bro. You need one of these. I still have these. They're like 5 years old. From when I did the Stone Cold Stunner at the Improv.
Which I saw that on YouTube. I thought it was hilarious.
So it ended up being on like Good Morning America. And I was like, well, I'm selling merch. So I bought 1,000 of those. And I bought them from some fucking ISIS website for like $2 a piece. And I sold them for like $10 each. And I still have a few. I'll send you guys some if you want to like fleshlight them or whatever you want to do with them. You can totally do it.
Sean, that's a good idea for you. I got a wife. I don't need that.
Yeah, but you can foreplay. You can like, you know, peekaboo.
Peekaboo.
You know what I mean? So, Luch, what are you for Halloween?
I am Paul Bear, and my wife was Undertaker.
You look like if Gangrel had AIDS. And instead of spitting blood, it's just cum.
Oh,
Oh,
Can I see your wife's costume?
he was supposed. She's not dressed up anymore. She got out of her costume. I'm gonna be posting a picture to Loudmouth soon though.
Okay. And then
But
Sean,
the
why
only-
aren't you dressed up?
Sean was supposed to dress up, but he bailed at the last minute.
Failed at the
What were
last
you
minute.
gonna be?
I was actually gonna come in a suit and be MVP, part of the Hurt Business.
You should be Ricochet, dude. You got a Ricochet vibe to you.
Yeah.
I think you
That's
could be.
all we do is
Ricochet.
I could pretty. Elisa said, "Hold on." But I could probably pull the Ricochet off.
Well, you're bald and you have a goatee. You could be Stone Cold Steve Autism.
Autism. Stone Cold Steve Autism.
Instead of what, you're like, huh? Give me a hell yeah. Yeah, instead of give me a hell yeah, it's like, give me a hug.
Give me a hug.
But biggest thing, Matt, is I'll be getting tickets for your show here.
Which one?
The one coming up in November.
Oh yeah, it'll be fun, man. Come out. It's gonna be fun. So I was supposed to announce another one of them. So I'm doing these secret shows because we're not allowed to have a lot of people.
Right.
So I tell people last minute. Well, the one that I was going to announce on the 27th, they just announced it, and in a day we sold out. So I don't even have to advertise it, which is sweet.
That's nice.
I'm not even going to tell people where it's at because if more people show up,
They're gonna turn away.
right. So I'm definitely not going to tell you. It's at Yesterday's in Greenfield, and it's November 27th. But it's just whatever. Fuck it. You know.
All right, Matt. Here.
I thought he was gonna fart.
No. This was my wife's costume.
Oh, I love it.
Oh,
Wait,
back
you gotta
it up
see
a
my
little
hat.
I was gonna say, does she have a face? There it is. Oh my god, I love it.
Look, I got this neck tattoo.
Oh, it's for Sarah. That's perfect.
Yes.
Can you roll your eyes in the back of your
bit.
head?
No, I practiced so much, and I ended up just like painting white on my eyelids to pretend because I could not do it.
I love how Luch is like, no, he's like, I've been trying for years, and she just he's usually just asleep.
Maybe if he had your foam finger, like you said.
That's all it takes. Hey, listen, you know,
Wait, look, he's gonna go get it now. He's gonna go get it.
we got everything, guys.
Oh
Like, whatever
Oh my
you guys need.
That's your man right there.
No, it's for both, dude.
Oh my
Oh
god.
no!
Oh my god, it's double-sided.
So the story behind that, I wanted to stick something up my ass. No, 4 years ago for Christmas, I bought my dad. My dad wanted a pair of shoes, so I got him. Sean left. What happened? His phone died.
I don't know. He's still right there. I just think he just cut his thing off for a minute.
Oh,
Just
okay.
keep talking. He's fine.
Okay, so 5 years ago or 4 years ago, my dad wanted a pair of shoes. So I took the shoes out of the shoebox and put that dildo in there with a card that said, "Go fuck yourself. Merry Christmas" to my dad. Now, it was a tradition, like, because my parents are split up, so I did this Christmas Eve. But usually it was just us at the house. I didn't know until I got there that it was his girlfriend's whole fucking family was there.
Oh,
And I show up with this gift. And they're like, "What'd you get your dad?" I'm like, "Nothing." "Oh, I gotta open it up." And because my dad like wanted these shoes so bad, he's like, "I want to show everybody." I'm like, "No, you don't. Nope. Probably shouldn't have opened this." And my dad opens them up. And this was in the shoebox. And my dad goes, "Oh, that's real nice," like that. And nobody knows what it is because he didn't pull it out yet. I have a sister who at the time was like 3 years old.
Oh,
because we're white trash, and I have a sister 26 years younger than me. So she goes, "What is that? A dog bone?" Fucking grabs it and is running around the house like fucking Kitty Pablo, raise up, just spinning this fucking thing like a helicopter. And I'm like, Jesus. And I have it on camera. It used to be on my Facebook page, but my dad was like, you can't have a 4-year-old swinging a rubber dick around. And I was like, why not? Like, I still didn't understand why not, because I'm immature as shit. I mean, she wasn't like, oh, like that would have been a problem. But not knowing what it is, I think is fine, right? Like, she just thinks it's a toy. And it is a toy. So yeah, I deleted that video. But I still have the video of him opening it. I have to post that. I usually post it around Christmas time every year.
That's just.
How does my mic sound, by the way? Does it sound okay?
Yeah,
It's
sound
good. We're good.
Okay. I'm glad that's the one thing I'm worried about right now. So yeah, man, that was it. How long does your show last, or do you just do it until you like nothing?
We actually only last maybe like hour and a half, but since we had our special guest out of nowhere.
Who was it?
Well, I mean, he hasn't come on yet, so it doesn't matter.
Okay. Perfect. Well, you should have him on again sometime.
Matt, I still want you versus Sean promo wars.
So how does it work?
And actually, you both have to write a promo towards each other.
Why don't we just do an impromptu one right now and see who's better without having to script it?
Let's close the show that way. Sean versus Matt promo
If you're
war.
the true champ, you go first.
Oh no! See, the true champ will wait to see what kind of challenge I really have out there.
You can't even finish that sentence, and I'm worried about a promo from
Come on, Sean.
Steve Autism from Fake Ricochet. Come on, you go first, and then I'll put you to bed. Go ahead.
All right, wasn't expecting that, but
That's the best way to do it, though. You don't have any time to write.
I don't write anyway, so it doesn't
I know.
matter. Matt, you call yourself the true Steel City heel, right? What makes you a true Steel City heel? The fact that you pick on people at your shows, the fact that you go around and thinking you're better than everybody else. Is that what makes you a true Steel City heel? Because I don't see it. All I see is a guy who thinks he knows wrestling, a guy who thinks he knows the business. And it took me all this time to get you on the show today.
Yeah.
You're not a heel, man. You're nothing. I'm pretty much out. Now you can put me to bed.
Are you ready to start your promo or just a fucking commercial for Okay, so is it my turn?
Well, obviously, Sean doesn't
Obviously.
know what else to say. So
Yeah, I had nothing else to say.
You sure? just go ahead, do one more. Because that promo right there was sponsored by Sudafed. I was ready to fall asleep within the first 12 seconds. You want to talk about who a Steel City heel is? Who's the bad guy? Here's who the bad guy is. I come on here and I triple your ratings. That's right. Now you have 9 people watching. That's how good I am.
we have 0.
We got 0.
Well, I don't look at this. And I'm surprised that you guys on your Boost Mobile phones can still see all those statistics. You're recording this. Sean, what is with your light? You look like you're about to see God behind you with this light behind you, sponsored by Boost Mobile or whatever fucking phone. What is Motorola Razr? Can you show me your kitchen real quick? Is that the kitchen? Because you're not cooking right now. I can tell you that. The promo was ice cold. You can't touch me. I'm the best thing in Pittsburgh. I'm better than Pittsburgh Dad. I'm better than Kurt Angle. I'm better than Mr. Rogers' corpse. I am the best thing going on in Pittsburgh, right? Luch, am I right? You don't agree with me with your little third grade art project behind you? I'm so glad you could spell 4 fucking words with your plastic championship belt and your foam finger you stick inside of your fucking gauges, you fucking goofball. You look like a shift manager at Hot Topic. Go fuck yourself. 6 tattoos, bro. Sean, I love your Gabriel Brothers hoodie. That's fantastic.
It's a Loudmouth Sports Talk hoodie. Just get it right.
Exactly. It'll be in Gabriel Brothers in 2 fucking weeks, I'm sure. I love you guys. But seriously, just give me that belt. I won. Let's
Sean.
Next week, we'll do a promo. It's how many veins can Matt go down? What do you think? I did this on my live video once. I think it's 5, and I puked. I got to hear it. Fucking here's what's so funny is that this is so common at my house that I leave out. I just leave it out. And when we have guests over that don't know me that well.
Oh my God.
Dude, so like I'm doing a show for like this guy running for mayor who's definitely not going to win. And it's in January. And he came to drop off money. And it was literally just hanging out next to my TV. And I was like, what's up, dude? He's like, I'll see you in a couple months. I was like, yeah. And I noticed it was there. And he just was like, all right, I'm going to go. I was like, all right, I'll see you later. I should be like, you don't want to stay for a little bit and fucking hang out? But
and that guy running for mayor is Tony Moreno. You're probably talking about because I know him.
That is Tony. Yeah,
Tony.
Tony's running for mayor. He's not going to win, not because he's not qualified to win, but because everyone's so brainwashed by Peduto.
I don't know. I don't know now. I don't know.
The only thing that helps Tony is that he's running as a Democrat.
Right.
But he's not a Democrat.
He's a Republican, but he's smart, runs on a Democratic ticket.
Runs on a Democrat. I hope he wins just because it'll be fucking hysterical.
It would.
Because he's the real steel mayor. Like, and I just like the name. I'm like, I like that. Like, he's so Yinzer. His videos are so fucking great. He's like, hey, cuz, I'm here at this fucking abandoned yard. What are you doing, Peduto? Kids, we used to play wiffle ball here. I'm like, yeah, but then they all died in the steel mills. So, like, nobody. But I should have been mayor of Pittsburgh. I actually, fun fact, it's a true story. Good luck to Tony. I can't vote, and I wouldn't vote anyways unless somebody paid me, which he paid me to do his show, so I would 100% vote for him. I don't care what your politics are. That's what politics are.
Yeah.
They fucking get paid for their decisions. Well, pay me and I'll vote for you. I'm on your team, man. He could be pro fucking Ravens, and I'd be like, all right, yeah, give me some money. Awesome. Go Birds. I wouldn't care. But I ran for mayor in 2017. And I didn't seriously do it, but the Republicans had nobody to run. The young Republicans of Allegheny County not paid for me, but they got me set up to go to the Trump rally in 2016. And so it was 2 days before the election. I was front row when Trump made his speech. And I was like, yeah, I'll go because that's history. Why not? Yeah. My dad's he was a super pro Trump guy. My gimmick online, I was a super pro Trump guy because it was fun to ruffle feathers. My opinion changed a lot over the last 4 years. But it was so fucking wild to see, like, it's like a cult following.
Yeah.
Like his fan base is like no matter what, and it was so fucking funny because he was talking about everything he's gonna do, and everybody's cheering, and then he's like, "Yeah, we're gonna help the inner city youth," and then nobody cheered. I was like, Oh fuck! It's like, oh, it's like you had him the whole time, and then that was so. I'm voting in person. It's this Tuesday, right?
Yeah, it's Tuesday. I'll be voting in person too.
Here's what's scary to me. I'm not like, if you're voting for Trump, cool. If you're voting for Biden, cool. I will never lose friendships over it as long as we can communicate properly about it and I can understand why you're voting for a certain person. Tell me what you like about them. Tell me what values there are, and we're fine. But it's just, what scares me is that if Trump loses, he's president for 2 more months.
Yeah.
Do you know, you talk about CM Punk's pipe bomb? This motherfucker has 2 months to reveal every secret of the United States, and he will.
He would.
Dude, if he loses, he's in like, you know what? Fuck you. I kill aliens every day. There's 77 aliens right now in the Pentagon. The most tremendous aliens you'll ever see. I'm going to release them out. Donald Jr., you're going to, like, I really believe he's just going to fucking tell all, he's going to be like, he's a pedophile. He fucks kids. Melania, nobody knows pedophiles like me. Let me tell you something. And he's just going to,
he's going to go off.
He's going to just, I think the next 2 months be batshit fucking crazy.
He'll be batshit crazy and then refuse to leave the White House, probably.
That's the best. He's going to be like, it's going to be Wolf of Wall Street. He's like, I'm not leaving. I'm not fucking leaving.
Well, on that note,
the only other 2 things I can see is, like, I look at it, the elections is like, either A, do I vote for a narcissist, or B, do I vote for a guy with dementia? Like,
well, you're voting for Harris. Is really who you're voting for. I think because that fucking dude, like, I want to like Joe Biden so much. Like, I want to like him so much. But he
lost me at the "you ain't black" comment.
Well, yeah. Well, that annoys me. Not as much as it annoys you, I assume. But like who the fuck are you to tell me, like, you ain't black? Like, what? You're from Scranton, dude. Like, what the fuck? Like the best thing about your city is a fake fucking TV show. And your city's so shitty, they filmed it in Los Angeles and they never went to Scranton. You know what I mean? But non-politics aside.
Non-politics aside, yeah.
I just can't wait to see what happens.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait for election night.
I think there will be more chaos if Trump wins than if Trump loses.
I'm ready to watch, like, the CNN people and all them. Like, if Trump starts winning again, them breaking down and not being able to talk.
It's
like,
so funny though. I will say one thing: he's the funniest president of all time.
He is.
Like, dude, like, here's the best thing: like JFK, right? What's his quote? Do you know it?
What did he say? It was
ask not what your country
can do for you, you can do for your country. Yeah.
Right. 7 years ago. Who's that?
As Abe Lincoln, I think.
Abe Lincoln, right? And then 20 years from now in textbooks, grab her by the pussy. Like, that's awesome. That's gonna be in a social studies book. Like, it is. That's his #1 quote. Grab him by the pussy. Like,
well, Matt, Sean, I gotta go do some things. So it was nice having you on the show, Matt. I really hope next time.
Dick.
I really hope next time Sean comes with a better promo. So if we have you on next week, I really hope Sean's prepared.
I can't do next week. I'm going to a wedding.
Well, we do want to have you on. It'll be in a couple weeks here, just the Saturday before Survivor Series. We're going to do the Survivor Series is the 22nd, so that's the 21st.
I'll do it.
It's we're going to do we're going to talk about the Undertaker 30 years. We're going to do a special 30-year history of the Undertaker
and how he should have retired 10 years ago.
Well, debatable.
He sucks. He's going to come back. You know he's coming back, right?
He's coming back at Survivor Series.
Yeah, he's like he's just so fucking annoying. He's going to come back. He'll wrestle every week. probably.
All
All right, well, I
right,
gotta go jack off anyways, guys. It was so much fun, guys. I'm gonna screenshot this photo so that I can aim and blast away. Have fun. Have fun, guys. Enjoy your fucking cartoons that you drew behind you, you fucking nerd. Sean, get some better lighting. Like I said, you look like you're about to see death. And I have to do the same too because my hair looks like I'm one Make-A-Wish away from dying too. So it's good seeing you guys.
And go call your parents of Kevin Owens and Shawn Michaels because that's what you look like if Shawn Michaels and Kevin Owens had a.
I look like if Kevin Owens ate Shawn Michaels. That's what I look like.
And then you smoke crack, yeah.
And hung out with Goldust. Bye, guys.
Later.
Peace.
All right, folks. That was Matt Light on Loudmouth Sports, Loudmouth Off the Top Rope. 2-hour show, man. 2 hours. But straight wrestling, that's what we bring every week. Apparently, I wasn't ready for that. Was not ready for that promo at all. He destroyed me.
Be ready next time.
I'll be ready next time. I'm going to try to take that Steel City heel title away from him. But once again, I am the true champ of Loudmouth, and this my sidekick, Loudmouth Luch, who thinks he's the champ as well. Tune in next week, Saturday, 4 p.m. for another edition of Loudmouth Off the Top Rope.